Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
We begin with an Oakland County teenager's disappearance that has friends and family baffled and begging for her safe return. 15-year-old Laken Lewis vanished 2 weeks ago in Commerce Township.
She was last seen in the Stratford Villa mobile home park on August 18th. Neighbors say they saw her out for a walk and was obviously walking back home, but never arrived. Mara McDonald live there tonight. Police are asking for some help here, Mara.
Devin, they tell us that they have essentially run out of leads and that the tips they've gotten have led them nowhere. Take a look behind me. You can see this is what is left over from the candlelight vigil for Laken tonight. And truly, when you talk about her disappearance on August 18th, nobody really understands what happened here.
We're going to bow our heads and trust that the Lord is going to bring Laken home.
A prayer tonight for 15-year-old Laken Lewis, who vanished the night of August 18th from the Stratford Villa mobile home park.
It's very out of character. She would never run away. She, even if she was like going to be a minute late, she would call from a friend's phone and she'd say, "Hey, Mom, I'm me a couple minutes late." Okay. You know, she would always get in contact with me, always.
None of that happened that night. Neighbors say they saw her near her home and didn't think anything of it. They also say they saw a man and a woman who they did not recognize in the immediate area, and while they thought it was weird, didn't think there was an issue. Now they wonder. Police say the leads and tips have gone nowhere, and they need help. Her friends and family just want her home.
I love you, Laken, and I really want you to come home. I've known you for 6 years. I don't know why you would do something like this. You guys are like my second family.
Back here live, some things to consider. Number one, Laken went on a walk almost every day. So that she was out walking the mobile home park was nothing new. It was sort of a daily activity for her. Number two, her mom says she was really looking forward to starting high school. So why would a teenager who really wanted to go to school not be here now? Nobody has any answers. We're live in Commerce Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yeah, all right, Mara.
Well, 3 days have passed now since Monday's storms, and DTE is reporting 68,000 customers still remain without power. With residents frustrated by another widespread outage, a nonprofit in Ann Arbor is hoping the city will establish its own public power utility. Megan Woods is live in Ann Arbor with what the next step is now here. Megan?
Yeah, Kimberly, that next step is doing a study to see if this idea is worth it. We're here at an intersection in Ann Arbor where the power has gone out, and you know, we've talked to multiple people out here on and off camera who say that this is happening way too much and a change needs to happen.
It just shouldn't be like this, that it's this many times that it happens.
Linda Jo Doctor says she loses power multiple times a year.
It's happened in the summer, it's happened in the winter.
It's frustrating and inconvenient for many, including Greg Woodring.
That it kind of causes everything in your life to become more difficult. And you're just helpless.
He's president of grassroots organization Ann Arbor for Public Power. Over the last 2 years, they've worked to get to this very moment, the city contracting a study on how feasible it would be to have its own public power utility.
We got 1,300 petition signatures and brought that forward to the Ann Arbor Energy Commission as well as the Ann Arbor City Council.
Several other communities have their own public power utility, including Lansing.
The City of Ann Arbor would compel DTE to sell its electrical infrastructure. And then the City of Ann Arbor would then establish its own utility that would use that infrastructure in order to provide power to the entire to all the residents of Ann Arbor.
In January, City Council authorized the feasibility study, and Tuesday they will decide on the funding for it.
This would help us figure out an idea of what the cost of that acquisition would be, as well as the operating costs of running a utility. And then it would compare that against the revenue that the utility would bring in.
We should explore this option, but at the same time would encourage DTE to really think through what are things that they can do in order to enhance the service that would prevent this from happening.
And this study costs more than $450,000. Now, this nonprofit that we spoke to says the benefits here are that it would be a lot less outages, it would cost less for customers, and it would be greener energy. But again, that's why they need to do this study to figure out if this is worth it, if this will be more beneficial than what they're doing right now. Live in Ann Arbor, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Yeah, okay, Megan, thank you. The Michigan Supreme Court will have to act quickly in the battle over whether an abortion rights proposal should be on the November ballot.
The group Reproductive Freedom for All filed an appeal with the High Court late this afternoon. State Board of Canvassers, as we reported yesterday, split along party lines, keeping the proposal off of the ballot for now. Opponents argue the petitions were a mess, with words scrunched together, spaces missing, added up to a confusing bit of wordage. The appeal argues the hundreds of thousands of people who signed the petition should not be disenfranchised because of a formatting issue. The court must act quickly because the ballots have to be formatted by September 9th.
New booster shots that target the newest Omicron strains will soon be available. Tonight, the CDC signing off on the new shots, with Pfizer expected to deliver 3 million doses around the country by early next week. The new updated shots are only for use as a booster, with Pfizer's booster for people 12 years of age and older, while Moderna's is for adults only.
Utica schools tonight responding to a video posted on social media involving Stevenson High School football players in Sterling Heights.
The video of these ninth graders was based on a TikTok video referencing the death of George Floyd.
Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
The video shows members of the freshman football team at an off-campus team breakfast earlier this month. Some have water guns pointed at a black student pretending to be handcuffed and on the ground. One parent says she hopes the district is taking action to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
It's important for those boys who were doing that, even if the kid participated, to understand why that's not okay, to continue to deconstruct that thought, because that is racist.
Well, the district has opened an investigation and says all players were punished. The district also released a statement that reads in part, quote, in a case where a diverse group of students involved make a poor choice, regardless if their stated intent was not to deliberately harm or antagonize others, the school will use it to help students understand why this is offensive and harmful to the social fabric of our community, end quote.
In a primetime speech in Philadelphia, President Biden calling for unity while also warning that extremism in the Republican Party, quote, threatens the very foundations of our republic. Alice Barr in Washington with the president's blistering speech tonight. Alice.
President Biden walking a narrow line in a primetime speech tonight. The man who promised to unite the two political parties blasting a portion of the GOP.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
The president insisting he's not against what he calls mainstream Republicans, but arguing those who deny election results or promote political violence are a threat to democracy.
They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
Though billed by the White House as an official address, the president spoke from battleground Pennsylvania, and with the midterm elections looming, returned to his central campaign message about the battle for the soul of the nation.
I'm asking our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology.
But ahead of the speech, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy blamed President Biden for the country's deepening divisions.
President Biden has chosen to divide, demean, and disparage his fellow Americans.
It comes as Department of Justice lawyers and the Trump legal team squared off in court today for the first time since the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida estate. The Trump team arguing for an independent special master to review seized evidence of highly classified documents. A federal judge set to rule in the coming days as the former president's legal troubles and the current president's warning of a democracy in peril collide on the road to the midterms. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Hey, Alice. Oakland County is putting money into a gun buyback program.
Board of Commissioners approving a $45,000 pilot program tonight, strictly voluntary, and no community would be forced to host a gun buyback day.
This is just a pilot program from us. We just want to see if this will work, and we feel if you get one gun off the streets, it's worth it.
So far, 7 police departments in the county have expressed interest in hosting a buyback event. Events likely would start in October.